listening to the Arthro Podcast Show.
Oh my gosh, are the Brits taking over everything?
With your hosts, Bryan Baird and Scott Ballard.
Good afternoon, everybody. This is the Arthro Podcast Show. I'm one half of the Arthro Podcast Show, Scott Ballard. I'm here with Mr. Dennis Judy with EcoRaider. We're going to talk a little bit about some new products, new product that's coming out for mosquitoes. Bryan will be on with us shortly, so don't everybody's turn it off and not listen to me. It's not just going to be me. Thank God. Hopefully, we're going to let Mr. Dennis talk more than us anyway. But how you doing, Mr. Dennis?
Doing great. How you doing, Scott?
Man, I can't complain. I'm ready for this weather to be pretty. I'm ready for the weather to be mosquito type weather, so that we can knock some mosquitoes down and kill some termites. But other than that, we're doing real good.
It'll be here before we know it if we ever get shed of some of this rain, I guess.
Well, it was cold 2 days ago, and it's like, wow, I don't think swarm season's ever going to get here. And then I walked outside this morning and had a pullover on and was thinking, oh, it is so muggy and it's so nasty. I'm hoping that the moisture was in the air, and then of course it rained. I think in 30 minutes I felt like we got like 17 inches of rain in Opelika today. It was crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. It did the same thing here, and then right before long about 4 o'clock, I think the sun came out. So
yep.
But it was kind of muggy and warm, like you said. It's right around the corner.
Now, I hope the termites are getting fired up. But for those of you who don't, for those of us who don't know what you do, and I don't want to destroy your title, so I'm just going to let you introduce yourself and tell them, what your official title with EcoRaider and what you do. So I'm going to shut up and let you talk.
Well, I don't know that I have an official title, but I serve in a consultant capacity with EcoRaider as their technical director. I guess that would probably describe it as good as anything. And also am a co-owner of Judy's Pest Services here in the Atlanta market. So that's a nice little startup company that my son and I are busy trying to get moving. So after almost 40 years of working for somebody else, we're semi-retired and enjoying life. So,
well, there's nothing wrong with being retired now. So you just have the one office there in Atlanta for Judy's Pest Control?
That's it right now. Just a very small startup company.
There's nothing wrong with that. We should never despise small beginnings. I think I've read that somewhere before. That's who it defines us, what we go through. That's what I tell Bryan all the time. Of course, he never listens to me, but that's another podcast. What are you introducing to us today, Mr. Dennis?
Well, we'd like to make everyone aware today of a new generation of mosquito control product for mosquito and general pest control by EcoRaider, and it is our new ER-3 insect killer. We went through last summer doing a lot of the test trials with it and testing the formulations, working them out, had several cooperating companies that helped us with actually putting them to work in the field once we got all the lab work done, and very happy with the success of some of it. There were some situations where some of the feedback wasn't so great, but we took that feedback and worked on it, and other situations where we had excellent feedback. It shows a lot of strength for the market for mosquito control, as well as taking care of some other situations, and always room, I think, for a really good, what we consider to be a green product in the market. So it meets the bill for being green.
Now, I will tell you, the last interview, I think we interviewed you last year around about this time, maybe give or take a month or two, but my company started, we used Lambda with scrimmage for our mosquito control. And after talking to you and looking through some of the material that you sent us and everything, we started using EcoRaider for mosquitoes, and we stopped using I'm going to say this word wrong. I mess it up all the time. Avigent. I think I said that right. With it, it just used EcoRaider itself, and we had some really good success with that. And I believe EcoRaider is mainly it's cedar oil, correct?
It's a mixture of products. Actually, the ER-3 has geraniol, 2% geraniol in it, and a 2% cottonwood oil in it, and those are the primary ingredients in the regular ER-22 that you're talking about.
Yes.
But with this new ER-3 product, we've actually added in a lemongrass oil, extra 1% active on that, which I think you'll find pleasing. We had feedback from some of the folks in the field trials that really liked the smell of their yards when we were gone. It just gave a really pleasant spring-like smell to all their bushes and everything when we were gone.
Interesting.
And then you mentioned as well, Scott, that you didn't have to use an adjuvant anymore. And the reason for that is another part of the active list in the ER products, both ER-3 and ER-22, is sodium lauryl sulfate.
Okay.
And the sodium lauryl sulfate in and of itself is widely used as a product that helps with emulsification, and it also is a surfactant. So it's used in probably almost 100% of the cosmetics that are on the market nowadays. I mean, if you're using shampoo to wash your hair, it's got a sodium lauryl sulfate in it as its surfactant. So,
interesting.
It adds to the safety regimen as well of the product, being, totally botanical actives, but it really makes the product stick to the area where we're misting it. And we even had some of the technicians in the field trials gave us unsolicited feedback about they could tell that the product was sticking to the leaves, where they could see what they were used to using actually running off of the leaves and not being there. So I think you'll find that it does a wonderful job. And like you said, I know adjuvants aren't free if you're buying something extra to mix in there.
No, sir.
With product, you don't have to do that any longer.
Well, and you may have already answered this with what you said, but the difference between the two, what makes ER-3 insect killer superior to the ER-22?
Well, the ER-22 was specifically formulated to take care of more so bed bugs and some of the indoor pests as well. It has to be mixed at a little bit higher concentration rate to do that. With the ER-3, with the addition of the lemongrass oil, it's helped us cut down that concentrate quite a bit, and does a very, very good job outdoors. And it also gives us the opportunity when we're treating outdoors with it, specifically for mosquitoes, to treat water sources, stagnant water sources. So if you've got a little fish pond or a bird bath or something like that you're worried about mosquito larvae developing in, you can actually treat that water with this product, and once again, voila, it's a one-time deal. You're out there anyway with whatever equipment you're using. In my case, we use the big steel backpack mister blower. So while we're going around treating all the appropriate areas for the mosquitoes, we don't have to bypass that water area anymore. We can give it a shot as well, and that's our larvicidal treatment, in the standing water or in the gutters or where have you. And it also saves us from buying those more expensive larvicides and doing a separate treatment with those. So good money savings as well as more convenient while we're doing the treatment.
Well, as exciting it has been just being me and you, Mr. Dennis, the other half of my heart is here. He's on. What's up, Bryan?
The other half of my heart. That's disturbing.
Why? I love you, man.
Yeah, don't scare me. How's it going, Mr. Judy, sir?
It's doing well, Brian. How you been, buddy?
Good, man. Really good. I've been sitting here listening to you talk about the forgive me. I came in kind of halfway through.
ER-3.
ER-3. Were you talking about now the ER-3 acts as a larvicide? Is that what you were saying?
Yeah. It actually can be used to treat the water directly, bird baths or little ponds or stagnant puddles or the rain gutters or the tree holes or just anywhere that captures water. Of course, when you can dump it out, that's the best thing to do. But if you have to treat it with larvicide, you can use this rather than having to purchase and apply with the second application some other type of a larvicide.
Wow,
of course,
that's impressive.
We're not going to take it out and spray over top of an entire big pond somewhere with it, but certainly in those small containerized things or very small situations, it does a wonderful job.
So I will tell you, that's one of the main reasons why we started using EcoRaider from our last interview, because I love the fact that it was mostly green, and we could, if it got into a pond or in a waterway, that it wasn't, we weren't going to get like murdered by using it. So that's one thing I like about the product.
Yeah, with its 25B package and all the safety aspects of it, it's really an extraordinary product, especially for use around water sources. So it can give us, actually a 1-2-3 punch is what I say now, not just the 1-2 punch, because it'll also allow us to provide a little bit of spatial repellency out there as well. Once we've treated something with it, it may keep the mosquitoes from even coming in contact with those surfaces for a short period of time at least. And that's especially important, I think, when we're talking about doing maybe not the routine treatments that we do for our residential and commercial establishments, but, people are having a wedding or an outdoor picnic party somewhere, or, using the backyard for some special activity, and they want to make sure that it's free for, the day of their activity. It's an outstanding product to use in that situation because of the repellency factor, along with getting rid of anything that's there already, and actually leaving a pretty good smell behind. Like we said earlier, I was talking to Scott about technician from the field trial telling us that he had customers that actually told him how great their yard smelled when we were finished treating. So,
well, how bad did it smell in the beginning?
Whether it smelled bad, but what they said was it gave it that nice spring-like smell out there to all the flowers and things. So,
well, that's nice. So now, does it have the mint smell to it still?
Well, it's got the geraniol in it, but the ER-3 actually has another ingredient added. It's a lemongrass oil. So I think that's where more of the pleasant smell comes from.
I was going to say lemongrass smells really good. It really does, actually.
Yes, so it does.
That's really where it's coming from. It's not an overpowering odor, but certainly, in my experience with it, it's very, very pleasant smelling once we've applied it.
Huh. So now, forgive me if you've already been asked this, but can you use an adjuvant with it?
Hey, look, he got that word right.
He did. I butchered it when I said the word.
Oh, sorry.
Actually, Brian, I was telling Scott earlier that one of the active ingredients in the product is sodium lauryl sulfate.
Oh.
And sodium lauryl sulfate in and of itself is both an emulsifier and a surfactant. So it would take the place of the need for any adjuvant at all. It'll actually make the product stick very well. And sodium lauryl sulfate is used in pretty much 100% of all the cosmetics and shampoos and things that you can go out there and purchase, that do those things, that make them emulsify. And so it would save you the cost of even needing to add an adjuvant to it because it's already there.
I'd be interested in trying that. That's pretty neat.
Yeah, you need to give it a shot. And one of the things we got in feedback from a tech, again, unsolicited, was that he could actually tell that it was sticking to the leaves on the shrubbery rather than running off, like his experience with what he had been using.
Oh, wow. That's impressive.
That's very impressive. So now you said you get. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ron.
No, go ahead. You're talking.
Oh no, you first.
No, I insist. No,
Oh,
no. Well,
geez.
I was just going to ask. So how long have you been using it in the field?
Well, we actually started the field trials with it last summer. We had 4 different companies that actually put it into use for us for a short period of time, just to give us the feedback we needed to further its development. And quite frankly, the PCO product that we're bringing to market is just now available. So under the ER-3 label. So we were using laboratory type derisions of it to do the field trials, and
of course,
determined all the necessities for it from doing that. And now the ER-3, I believe, is in the hands of the distributors now. Should be there. I know I've got a case of it coming to me via FedEx right now. So I know that it's available under the new label and in the packages. I've seen photos of it, and it's on the way out. So
I will have to try
now.
that. Yeah, it's getting that season again, and they're already showing up down here in South Georgia. Of course, you're up a little north of me, aren't you?
Yeah, we'll probably see the activity depending on the warm up, either late March or early April.
Yeah,
that's normal for this part of the country, but that was our goal, was to have it to the distributors at least by the end of February, and it looks like we've made that goal. So,
well, that's good.
And should be some opportunities through the distributors for introducing the product in. I think there might be some specials on it in the coming months, and I believe it's actually going to be the product of the month for Univar in March.
Awesome.
Unless I'm mistaken. So I know we're trying to work that deal and help roll it out as quickly as we can and get it into the hands of the folks that need it.
That's right. Yeah, it's gonna be a busy season because,
yes,
like
it
I
is.
say, it's starting here, and I always say around the time it swarm, you start seeing the first signs of mosquitoes. But we were seeing mosquitoes in late December, early January. So
yes, we were.
We really haven't had a down time with them.
With the amount of moisture we've had, coupled with the cold back to hot days, I'm surprised that not everything's swarming already.
Yeah.
No joke.
That's exactly right. Hey, now you were saying that you did some the trials and stuff that you did with the E3 or ER-3. What are some of the other positives that you're seeing out of this product? Obviously it's focused on mosquito. We're talking about mostly mosquitoes, but you'd mentioned bed bugs earlier in the conversation. So I'm just curious to see what other pluses are going on with ER-3.
Yeah, with ER-3, I think probably what you're going to see is it is labeled for ants and to treat mites and things like that. And it will work on other crawling insects. You might have to, on the crawling insects, mix it at a little higher concentration or dilution rate to see the effects you might want to see. The mosquito larvae are really the big things, and being able to treat the larvae with it, to me, is really the strongest point that I see of it. I mean, it gives us that punch without having to go the route of using something extra to handle that, and it doesn't slow us down in the application. So, and of course, it fits into an IPM green program. So we've talked about that in my 40 years in the industry since we started, but I don't think we ever really got to doing that till just here lately. And it certainly can help us meet the needs of those folks that want a green service. I'm anxious. I'm going to be starting a school, a big Catholic school system here in about a month, and part of that package will include mosquitoes around the playground areas, and I'm anxious to use it there with its green package in that school environment. So
Yeah, especially with
That's
the
cool.
restrictions we have on treating schools in Georgia.
Yes.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. The last time we talked about it, I believe it was at the point you couldn't talk about it. So this is pretty exciting.
Well, we were at the point where we were just doing the field trials the last time we talked. So yeah, we've learned a lot more about it since then, and it's I think it's going to meet the niche for those people that are doing green services. One of our participators in the field trial had a group of townhomes that they had been doing green on, and he fell in love with it. I mean, it just it surpassed what he had been doing, what they were calling green prior to that. So, and the customers loved it as well.
Well, that's good. Yeah, that's
always
a plus. Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. So anything new coming down the pike that you can't talk about?
Now, I think we've got our hands full right now trying to get this one rolled out. And,
No, that's pretty cool. Dennis,
the next few months should be exciting.
Yeah, this is pretty. That's a pretty big leap there, because getting a green product that has a good residual and can be used in so many different manners. I mean, it's going to be. I'm not trying to be over dramatic, but that might be somewhat of a game changer.
Yeah, I think it does. It adds another dimension to a professional PCO's toolbox that just didn't exist before. Like I said,
That's right.
It's one product that can do two jobs instead of having to go around twice and use two different products. So
yeah, that's technically three, because you're not using any you're using the adjuvant and the stickum and the what do you call it? The
larvicide.
Larvicide. Thank you for saving me, Dennis, because apparently my sidekick there is just waiting for me to die.
That's what I'm here for.
That's what we're here for.
Right. It's it gives us, and that's why we call it ER-3. It gives us that three-pronged punch. So
that is nice. That is nice.
We debated the name and didn't know what to call it, and we kept talking about triple action. It does three things. It does. I said, well, there's your answer. Just call it Formula 3. So
yeah.
Instead of ER-22 for the bed bug, we've got ER-3 for the mosquito.
That's right. You're going to be the WD-40 of the pest control industry. So how do you like your position there now that you've been there for a while?
Oh, I'm enjoying it. It's like I was telling Scott earlier. It's really just a part-time type consulting deal for me, which gives me the flexibility to do the other things I enjoy doing. So I'm loving it. Really, it's not overwhelming me with a whole lot to do, and at the same time allows me the freedom to do other things. Now, next week they've got me saddled. We'll be at the American Mosquito Control Association show in Orlando.
Oh, wow.
Well, that's cool.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and of course we'll have a booth there in the exhibit hall. So that's a pretty big show for the mosquito market. So looking forward to being in Orlando for several days next week.
Orlando's fun.
Yeah, it was. I had a great time. We were at Pest World, and that's the first time I've ever gone to anything like that. I've been in this industry for 30 years, and I had never had so much fun at a convention in my life.
Oh, it's amazing, yeah. And that's really where you meet a lot of folks in the industry, and I love going back because that's typically the only time I get to see them face to face. So
that's right.
And you build friendships and you talk on phones, but it's always good to get together and have a face-to-face chat. And
that's right.
So those kind of things, really, I think, are worth their weight.
I got to meet Dr. Austin Frischman. I mean, I was like a little schoolgirl. I was lucky I wasn't just standing there just drooling on him, and I'm pretty sure he was happy about that, because he's been the person that I've always looked up to for the entire time I've been in the industry. Yeah,
he's been living in Boca Raton for quite a while now. He left New York City a long, long time ago, but I've known Austin for about 30 years, and have done a lot of shows and meetings with him. He's one of a kind, no doubt.
Absolutely.
Now he's retiring. Didn't I see that in PCT?
Well, he's retiring from the PCT, yeah.
Okay.
He's kind of been retired, but he'll never go away, I don't think. So.
Gosh, I hope
No,
not.
it's in your blood.
No, he's
a trip. I did a show with my previous company. We actually won him in a raffle to put on a day's training for us. So I had every technician in the company come to Atlanta for a meeting on a Thursday. And just to get Austin 4 hours worth of material to speak on took me about 2 weeks to collect all the stuff for him that he wanted at the meeting for his program. He worked me to death. But that's awesome. So.
Man, I would do anything to meet him. I got to meet him at the NPMA, and I've always wanted to just sit down and just talk to him because I don't know if you heard of Pest Cemetery, the Facebook group, but he was at they had a little gathering, and he was at the gathering, and people got to sit and talk to him, just talking, and it was just like, you have no idea what you got to do, because that's an amazing, that's a gift. I'd work for him for 2 weeks, just shoveling snow for him in Florida if I had to.
That's odd.
He's a nation, and he's got a head that just, so many ideas come out of it that you wouldn't dream of. Just simple things that make sense when you go out there and use them, and especially for cockroaches, he's the man. So.
Yep. How did you meet him?
Well, I used to be technical director at Orkin, and got to know him there, and then from there it just escalated through Pi Chi Omega and just a lot of other associations, and got to work with him. He was actually on board with Bear for quite a while, doing some shows for them, and I worked a little bit with him through some of those. So I just, like I said, it's just grown over the years, and we just got to be good friends, and he was always there if I needed him. Just pick up the phone, give him a call. So
that's cool.
Don't know that he gives his cell phone out to too many people, but I have.
Probably not. I would think he would not. You've raised in my estimation even more, Mr. Dennis.
He's a fantastic guy. He certainly has been there and seen just about all of it, I think.
Boy, that's the truth. So, so you have any? I'm sorry, I'm choking, Scott. Save me.
Okay. I just have a question for you, Bryan. You said when you saw Dr. Frischman that you were a schoolgirl. Is a schoolgirl the only one that can get excited? Do schoolboys not get excited?
Well, but as to save any kind of offensive to anybody on the side, I always think that a schoolgirl. I think a schoolgirl reacts a little bit more openly than a schoolboy does.
So are you saying that women are dramatic?
I'm saying women have a flair for the dramatic. That they show their emotions better than men do.
Anne-Marie Teresa is going to kill you.
She wants to kill me anyway.
Oh, okay, great. Well, then we'll be fine. Maybe as long as I get your business, that's all I want.
Well, that's fine. See what I have to put up with?
You only die once.
That's right.
That's right.
If you're going to die, you might as well die happy. That's my story.
I'm sticking to it.
Well, Dennis, I guess I'd like to say thank you for giving us your time. We know
yes,
we're
thank
very
you.
excited about ER-3 coming out, and I keep looking for those samples. I can't. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's. I'm going to give that a try, and I'll have to give a report back on it.
Shameless.
I tell you what I'll do, Bryan. Shoot me a message on Facebook with your shipping address.
Oh, okay. I was just joking, but yeah, absolutely, I'll do that.
I know a guy that might be able to get you a jug to try out.
Okay.
Nice.
I would. Well, that's very kind of you. That's very kind of you. I got to be shameless like that more often.
And Scott, you as well, Scott. Just shoot me a message if you want to on Facebook.
Absolutely. Thank you.
I'll ask them to send you all a sample of it. We appreciate the opportunity to be here and talk about the product as we're working to roll it out. It's tested very well through Rutgers for, its knockdown and its larvicidal action and, of course, the spatial repellency, and it all just comes together in a fantastic package that we think everybody that's doing green pest control especially is going to love. And even some of the folks that are doing normal pest control, as I've told them, I didn't use green products too much in my previous life either with the company. And, as far as our mosquito control lasting forever, it didn't. If you could get 2 weeks out of it, you were normally pretty happy.
Yeah, no joke.
With this product, we're seeing about 2 weeks out of it, but the thing that I don't think gets talked about enough is it's also given us that larvicidal action for about 2 weeks as well. So that's going to stretch it another week out there before they could ever breed and develop if they're even able to. So we think that part of it is really going to be, the difference maker in the long run.
Yeah, that's the part I'm excited about.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you on that because in the long run, it's not only the stuff that's effective, it also has to be economical for you. And
exactly. So I think the technicians, once they get used to it, they'll love it. It'll be a time savings for them. It'll be a cost savings on not buying the extra larvicides. It's just kind of an all-around good vibe to it, and we're excited about it. It's been field proven now, and with the 3 triple action type program with ER-3, we think you're going to really love it. So if anybody wants to learn more about it, they can go to our website, which is EcoRaider EMP.com. And then if you put a slash in there and put ER3, it'll take you straight to the mosquito page. There is actually a product brochure on that page. It's a 4-page brochure that'll give you a lot of information about it. And also one of the things I did back in the fall was created a video where we actually walk you through treating a house with it. It's about a 10 or 11 minute video. You get to see my lovely face in there. But it's right there on the web page as well. You could look at it and use it for training or whatever. And there's a few key pointers we give you. And of course, we don't want to say it's just a standalone type product. It is part of an IPM toolkit. So I still believe firmly that communication with your customer goes a long, long way. So we try to build it around a good, solid communication program to your customer. We even give you an idea about using a checklist for checking all the things around the structure, what to look for, and where to treat. And that video, I think, can go a long way at enhancing some guys' ideas about what needs to be done out there as well.
That's a great idea.
That's EMP what?
EcoRaider PMP, as in Pest Management Professional. .com.
That's clever. Pest Management Professional.
No, that's weird.
EcoRaider PMP. Okay, that's
/ ER3.
/ ER3 will take you straight to that, or you can just click on products when you're on the main page and go there. So.
Okay, and we'll put this on our Facebook page and everything like that, so people can find it too.
Absolutely.
Very good. Yeah, fantastic. Guys, I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for your time, Dennis. Appreciate it. It's good to hear your voice again.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. We'll have a great one, and we'll look forward to talking to you in the future.
Very
Thank
good.
you.
All right.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you.
See you.
Bye.
You've been listening to the Arthro Podcast Show. Carry on with whatever unimportant task you were doing before. We'll be here next week.